Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Here to my right is Carlos from the channel Brooklyn Fragrance Lover.
Hello.
Carlos, thank you for coming over. Really appreciate it on this
Absolutely,
wonderful Memorial Day.
Yes.
Cool.
This wonderful rainy Memorial Day.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully it clears up soon. But
Hopefully.
so we're going to be doing a line of 9 fragrances. The company here is called Parfums Quartana, and it's by the creative director Joseph Quartana. And this is a series of fragrances that are inspired by poisonous flowers. So I'm really happy to be talking about this company for episode 6 of Indie Scent Exposure.
All right.
It's hard to imagine we already did 6 episodes.
They flew by.
Yeah. So again, all of these are inspired by poisonous flowers. We have things like Poppy Soma, Wolfsbane, Digitalis,
Hemlock.
Some of you might be familiar with some over others, but I think it's a really interesting line of fragrances. So all of these were made by the perfumers over at Simrise, who are the same individuals who made fragrances for companies like Fleur. Yeah, excellent. And I like how each one of these almost has like a different color palette to it. And in the time that I've spoken to Joseph Quartana, he told me that they're all inspired by synesthesia, which is a neurological phenomenon where people make connections between different
odor and
like it could be visual, olfactory. So
they can see colors.
Yeah, some people can smell different colors, or it has all of these different components to it. I experienced a little bit of synesthesia myself. And all of these, he reached out to a few of his friends and he had them smell each one, and they told him the colors that came to mind. So that's where he got the color palette for all of these. And I must mention that the artwork, I have my trusty handy dandy book here. So all of these were made by the artist Erosin Lex Mestrovic, who is based in New York and Tokyo, and his work has been exhibited at the MoMA in New York, the White House, Art Basel, and his work is also a part of the Smithsonian collection. So he has done quite a bit, so let's...
And if you could be in this room with us, the aroma that is hitting my nose, these are all very potent. They're parfum extrait or almost extraits.
Yeah, the concentrations vary somewhere between like 12% aromatic compounds. I think somewhere upwards of like 18%. They're pretty strong.
Quite a fragrant roll of test strips here.
Now, despite the fact that they are all based on poisonous flowers, do they smell feminine or overly floral to you?
They have different personalities. Some are a little sweeter, some are a little more floral, like the Lily of the Valley, I believe.
It's somewhere in there, yeah.
Then there's some have a gourmand. Let's go through them.
Let's go through them. All right, so we're going to start off with this one, which is called Poppy Soma. Wow.
Very nice.
It is very nice indeed. So yeah, it is an eau de parfum. Awesome. And the collection, before I forget, is called Les Potions Fatales. So the fatal potions. So of course, if any of these were consumed, theoretically they would kill you because they're poisonous. I like Poppy Soma. It's not overly floral. There's almost like a bit of a, I don't know if it's really in here, but I get a bit of like an incensey characteristic. It kind of has like a lemony pine smell. Something that I would equate to the smell of frankincense. It's really nice, actually. I like this one. The next one here is Digitalis. And this one made my summer list. And it was one of the ones that you quite enjoyed as well. You put it in the light pile.
It's a very strange, quirky, salty type of fragrance. Like it's not quite beachy, but it is. But it's not.
Yeah.
Definitely different.
I love the way you put it. It does have a salty component about it. And for me, it puts me in that mindset of kind of like, I know it doesn't smell like suntan lotion, but it has a tropical feel to it.
It's very
exotic.
Funny. When people on the boards talk about salty fragrances, I'm like, what are you talking about? Until you smell it, then you know exactly what they're talking about. And it's in that fragrance for sure.
Yeah, exactly. They're a lot like Longboard by Min New York.
Yeah.
That one is like salty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Digitalis is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. So the next one here is Midnight Datura.
Midnight Datura.
Name is cool, if anything.
They're very potent.
Yeah.
So potent, like with all of them here right in front of my nose, it's hard to discern.
We haven't even gotten to the most potent one, in my opinion.
This is kind of sweet. I don't know that it's kind of floral. I can't pinpoint what floral, but it's voluptuous. It's very Bavumi type of.
Mind if I?
No, by all means.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's a little bit of a sweetness to it. It's definitely floral. Not one of my favorites, but I appreciate it for what it does.
I like it.
What was funny?
I like it. No, I'm laughing because I like it. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. It is. I would love to smell that on my wife.
It's a little vavavomi. It's a little feminine.
Yeah.
The next one is called Venetian Belladonna. Belladonna.
Good. Now, I think Belladonna is also what Lady Gaga's perfume is based on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So she had a fragrance called Fame with the black juice. And that one is also based on the Belladonna flower.
That was her better of her releases, I think. That was one I heard most people talk about.
Now,
He's
for a
closing
floral,
his eyes.
This one I like a lot more than Midnight Datura. I do.
Because this has a little bitterness to it.
It does.
It's got a very green, alive, stemmy quality about it.
It does. It's very natural smelling. Man. So good.
He loves it. He loves it.
It's green, it's lush, it's very bright and alive, like you said.
Bloodflower, the one imaginary flower
Floral.
in the series here.
Right.
So,
from what I remember, no such thing as Bloodflower, but it's more of like a fantasy floral.
and also Mr. Quartana is also a kind of videographer. He makes films. He's done a few films on these. You must go check it out
We'll link a few of them below.
on YouTube. This has quite the dramatic and epic and bloody.
I remember that.
It's like, whoa! It's like a scene from Dexter.
Yeah, that's right. All right, this is, I think, by far the strangest one because it has a metallic note to it.
And I like this.
I do too. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's metallic, but it's also juicy.
I like that.
It smells like something you would drink. I know it sounds weird, but
Come to suck your blood. No, this is nice.
it is nice.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. And then the next one is this one right here, right? Oh boy. This one is Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane.
So there is either, if not my favorite, definitely my second favorite, right behind Digitalis.
This is gourmandy.
It has like a truffle note in there, kind of like black orchid.
But not really.
It's not, right.
Because it's not overly floral by any means.
Yeah.
But there's a certain decadence, a sweetness of a gourmandy something in there.
Absolutely.
I review this.
And wolfsbane is what was used to poison the tips of arrows for wolf hunters.
Wolf hunters? Why do I thought it was something to do with werewolves? Never mind. I'm sticking to that. Whatever.
You have the vampires with Bloodflower, the werewolves with wolfsbane. What's next?
This is a good one. It's odd, but really good.
Yeah, I've smelled that so much. I've worn it on many occasions.
There's a little quirkiness that runs throughout the line as well.
Yeah.
They're not traditional designer fragrances or anything. They have different twists and things that make them very interesting.
Absolutely.
And appealing.
Yeah.
Where were we up to?
Mandrake.
Mandrake.
So you see a lot of orange on the packaging. I think funny thing with this one is there's no orange in there.
But I smell citrus something.
I know.
This is like citrus right now.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, me too. I do too.
Are there notes in the back of this?
No, unfortunately. Maybe on the inside if you want to open it.
It's all sealed and nice for presentation. But it's citrusy.
Yeah, it's bright. It's citrusy. Wow. Probably one of the more wearable scents. Not to suggest that any of these are unwearable. I think they're all incredibly wearable. But that's probably one of the more easygoing scents.
Now this is up next is Lily of the Valley.
Ah, that's the one you were talking about earlier.
What is the poisonous aspect of Lily of the Valley?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
This is definitely a floral.
Another thing I just remember too is if you look at the bottles, there are these dark, opaque blue bottles that would resemble the bottles that were kept by the ancient Greeks that they would store, like the apothecary.
Oh, that's why you like this wine so much.
No, there's no favoritism here.
It's a fun line. I don't care.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
And this one is very light, ethereal.
Can we see what the poisonous turn of this is in the cheat sheet? Would you mind terribly?
Yeah, so let's do that right now. I mean, we have it. We might as well
reference I'm curious.
It, right? So let's look for Lily of the Valley. I'd be curious to know too.
I think of lilies, I think of Easter.
Oh, and by the way, so let's take a look at Mandrake. We said there was no orange in here, right?
Yeah.
There is citrus. There's actually bergamot in there, but here are the notes, the full list of notes. Crisp apple.
Okay.
Pomegranate, birch leaf, birch root, bergamot, mandrake flower accord, rhubarb, cardamom, suede leather, deadly addiction accord, patchouli, Madagascar vanilla, sandalwood, and tonka. So no orange, despite the fact that
it has an orangey effect. There's a tartness, rhubarb.
Yeah, there is. So Lily of the Valley was composed by Natalie Benaroux. And there's a nice little stanza that's associated with each one, a little poetic.
Mm-hmm.
And this one reads, it's by Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Sweetest of the flowers a-blooming, in the fragrant vernal days, is the lily of the valley, with its soft, retiring ways. So the commentary on this one reads as follows. It is said that the lily of the valley sprung from the eyes of the weeping Virgin Mary during the crucifixion of Jesus, and thus has traditionally been a flower of purity and innocence. In order to put emphasis on its potential use as a fatal poison, we corrupted its sweet, fragrant, white floral essence by enveloping it in a black shroud and reinforcing that with a base of black leather accord. We also added a wet aspect to suggest tears. Wow. So I guess lily itself is not poison.
Because I said before, lilies, I think of Easter and Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
You're good at this, right?
I guess.
All right, but it is a real flower. And then what is the last one?
Hemlock.
Which is what killed Socrates. He was given hemlock to drink, right? So it says here, this is written by Rose Kennedy, Socrates gave a lot of advice, and he was given hemlock to drink. So the commentary of this one reads as follows. In ancient Greece, hemlock was used to execute condemned prisoners, and the most famous being the philosopher Socrates. The word itself derives from the Greek word konas, meaning to whirl about, as its effect is vertigo and death. Hemlock itself is a delicate, small white flower that grows in green, grassy fields, and thus we started with this idea as the backdrop for the fragrance, but added black vinyl accord to suggest a wicked black liquid.
I'm not picking up at the moment. After the dry down, we sprayed these a little while ago. There's something almost masculine floral about this. Mm-hmm. If you can see what I'm trying to explain here.
Yeah. It's so interesting, isn't it? That black vinyl accord. Just think of like a vinyl record.
I used to be a DJ. I remember that smell well.
My third favorite. Hands down. Yeah.
And leaning more masculine.
I'm surprised you really like Bloodflower. It's a nice one. I didn't think you would, but
it might be different on skin, but I really enjoyed it on the paper.
Yeah.
There's something to like in all of these. There's nothing that I disliked by any means.
None of these seem rushed. None of these seem under-delivered. None of these seem like they were executed quickly or in haste. All of them smell very deliberate. There's something quite brilliant about all of them, whether it be the story or the name or the branding. It's just...
This tartness is...
It's the pomegranate, the apple.
Yeah, it's cutting through everything at the moment. It's very funny, like, if I could easily get sidetracked and smell something else, but I'm right near the tartness of this one. Wow. So a well-executed line, Mr. Quartana.
Yeah.
A lot of fun and interesting commentary, and the visuals are just stunning. And if you get a chance to check out his films on these, you'll enjoy them.
Yeah, links down below. I'm also going to leave a link down below to a write-up that I did for this line over at the website StyleZeitgeist.com. So definitely go down there, make sure to check that out. And I don't need this, so I'm going to give these away to one lucky winner.
Somebody's going to have a good time.
Yeah, they're so good. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway is subscribe to both of our channels. Carlos's information is going to be down below as well. And then just leave one comment down below telling us which one of these would you be most interested in trying out. And then I'll choose the winner in a week's time. So Carlos, thank you for doing this video with me. I appreciate it. So I guess that's it. Remember to subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. And we'll see you in the next episode.
And don't poison anyone. Take care.
Bye.